Hello and welcome back to MCW Local to Global. We are back for our big show on New Year's Day, New Year's Beatdown. But before we jump into that, we've got to go through the yearly awards because it is the 1st of January. So let's jump in and have a look at those. Before we do that, let's have a quick look at what we've got booked for New Year's Beatdown. So we have a show of Sweet Sensations, Saraya and Alex Windsor versus Hannah and Holly Blossom. Roy Knight versus Zach Knight for the UEWA European Heavyweight title. We have Pete Dunne versus Trent Seven in a last man standing match. Chris Brooks versus Rampage Brown, a MCW homeboy, wanted to defend MCW against Rampage Brown and Pac. And then our two main events, we've got Jacqueline Moore taking on Britani Knight for the MCW Women's Championship, and Marty Scurll taking on Lionheart for the MCW Championship. Leave your predictions for those matches down below in the comments and see how you get on. And let's have a look at the awards. So we start off with Wrestler of the Year. In fact, no, let's go from the bottom. Let's start off with Referee of the Year and we'll build up towards the better awards. Referee of the Year went to Earl Hebner for an excellent 12 months of mat slapping and enforcing the rules. Okay. Colour commentator was Jerry Lawler. Announcer of the Year was Joey Styles. Manager of the Year went to Ric Flair. Independent Wrestler of the Year went to Tagashi Segura. Most Improved Company went to European company Westside Extreme Wrestling. So let's have a quick look at what they've done this year. They started off with 15s and they're now 22s across Europe. And in Central Europe, 28 up to 39. So they have done quite well, to be fair to them. They need to get to 59 popularity in Central Europe to get to medium. So they have gone up from tiny to small, I believe. And yeah, I thought we might have been in the running for that. I imagine we were probably not far off it. Female Wrestler of the Year was Mickie James. Veteran of the Year was The Undertaker. Young Wrestler of the Year was Harry Smith. And then we get into the real interesting one. So we'll start off with Team of the Year, which was Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels as D-Generation X. They're not a team anymore. They have broke up. They just had TLC where they actually had a match against each other. Shawn Michaels turned heel. I feel like that happened quite a long time ago as well. Company of the Year was WWE. Show of the Year was Night of Champions, which is a bit of a weird one for it to be. Match of the Year went to Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania 26. I mean, that probably would be Match of the Year if that had happened, to be fair. And Wrestler of the Year, John Cena winning it. Let's have a quick look at the Power 500. The top 10 was John Cena, The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kurt Angle, Triple H, CM Punk, Rob Van Dam, Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles. AJ with a 99 rating on a random episode of Impact. I assume that must have been against Rob Van Dam from the looks of that. Kurt Angle's had a 99, a 96 for Hiroshi Tanahashi, a 97 for Chris Jericho, and Undertaker and John Cena with a 99 at that WrestleMania. And now it's time for us to jump into the most important thing on this episode, MCW New Year Beatdown. And so for this show, we are going to be going out of the Saddlers Club in the Midlands on the site of Walsall FC's Bestcott Stadium. The reason for that, we're expecting 190 fans and our limit is 200 out of the ones that we've been doing previously. I thought just in case we get a big boost that we're not expecting, let's go up a little bit just to try and help us. And hopefully this is going to be a fantastic show. Let's jump in and see what we can do. So we open the show with a 40 rating. Fantastic start to the show. In a decent match, the Blossom Twins defeat Sweet Sensations in 8:03 when Holly Blossom submits Alex Windsor after blatantly cheating. So in this scenario, I'm thinking like she uses the tag rope to subtly choke Alex Windsor, and that causes her to submit a lot quicker than she would normally. However, the referee, unaware of it, doesn't know what's going on. Holly Blossom appears to be the better of the in-ring workers out of Hannah and Holly. I believe Hannah's the one that we had in the ring. So maybe that was a mistake on my part. But nevertheless, a good start to the show. And after the match, we just have a short segment, 26 rating, with the Blossoms celebrating after cheating to win. But it's clear outside the ring, Saraya is pissed off. And that isn't at Alex Windsor, just to be clear, that is at the fact that they cheated. After that, we just have a short segment, 22 rating, Marty Scurll saying he's going to do everything he can to win tonight. And after that, we head into another match in a bout that had decent reaction but subpar wrestling. Roy Knight defeats Zach Knight, but it's because Zach got intentionally disqualified. So Zach Knight does make a defense of his title, but it's under dubious circumstances. I really want Zach Knight to start improving in the ring. This getting a rating of 30 and in-ring performance of 19 isn't great, but I would really like him to become a better wrestler, and hoping that we can do that throughout this save. After the match, we have a 26 rated segment, Zach Knight standing over Roy after he's laid him out with brass knuckles, celebrating as though he won fair and square, even though, he didn't even win, he actually lost, but he's kind of acting oblivious to that. Even does like a mock foot on the chest, makes the referee count the free count, even though it's completely irrelevant. Then we have a little segment with Jacqueline at a 33 rating. She's just saying, I want one more title run before I'm done. That's why I'm here in MCW. So Jacqueline is due to retire next month. So she's trying to have that one final title run. 1 month reign on top of MCW. Can she get it here tonight? And then we're back into the ring next. And in a 33 rated match, Rampage Brown defeats Chris Brooks in 7 minutes and 6 seconds with a sit-down powerbomb. Another pretty decent match. 39 rating for Rampage, 26 for Chris Brooks. So they're doing alright out there. Can't complain too much. And after the match, a 32 rated segment, Rampage wins. But Brooks actually put up a really good fight. We kept him strong in that loss as well. But it's clear that Brooks against Rampage Brown, and then when you take Pac into the mix as well, he's going to need help against these two, and he's going to be in search for that help in the next couple of shows. Following that, a segment, it's just Lionheart preparing for the main event against Marty Scurll, and then we are back into the ring, and in a 42 rated match, that's fantastic, Pete Dunne defeats Trent Seven in a last man standing match in 14:35. Trent Seven unable to beat the 10 count. Pete Dunne just barely getting back to his feet before collapsing after the bell. He has had his leg targeted so much, but thankfully was able to keep Trent down after putting him through a table. But after the match, in a 23 rated segment, Pete Dunne is helped out of the arena due to his knee. Also, I should note, we got 194 people here. So as it turns out, we didn't need to actually change venue. However, I thought it was worth it just in case we did have a shock amount of fans here. And 194, still a nice little upgrade. And you can see our attendance is growing week on week. Next up, in a 28 rated segment, we have Britani Knight making an elaborate entrance, ready for her match against Jacqueline. And in a 38 rated match, Jacqueline defeats Britani in 14:31. An injury to Britani Knight meant that an audible was called and the finish was changed on the fly. Britani Knight has sustained a major concussion. That is disaster for us, because Britani was meant to be my champion for a long time. Jacqueline is retiring in a month, and most importantly, major concussion. That could be Britani Knight out for quite some time. That is very bad for us, and we've actually got to go back to the booking screen because of the major concussion. We need to change something, so I'll be back with you in a moment. So we just have now Jacqueline celebrating with the MCW Women's Championship, gets a 31 rating. Not what we had planned for the post-match segment, but nevertheless. And now it's time for our main event. Lionheart versus Marty Scurll. And a 58 rating. That is phenomenal. In a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Lionheart defeats Marty Scurll in 14:57 by pinfall with a leap of faith. The referee got knocked down. Ricky Knight came in to count the 3. Zack Sabre Jr. turned, and it's a complete success, on Lionheart, attacked him while the referee was out, but Lionheart manages to overcome it anyway and pick up the win, retaining the MCW Championship. And after the match, he's hit by a huge spear by Joe Anoa'i. What a shock. The future Roman Reigns in real life, but here in 2011, he's in MCW and he's just speared our champion. His gimmick gets a rating of awful, which is concerning. We might have to change that earlier than we planned, but nevertheless, Joe Anoa'i is here in MCW. So a 47 rating match gains his popularity. So let's go around. We can tell, well, now that she's a champion, we'll compliment Jacqueline on a good performance. Britani, what can we do for her? We'll praise her for a great performance anyway. And you know what? Marty Scurll will compliment on a good performance because despite losing, he did have a really good match in our main event there. And everybody's pleased with that. Let's go and have a look at the damage to Britani. So Britani Knight, with her major concussion, is going to be out for over a year. Absolute disaster for us, because she was the one I was planning to build our women's division around, and it does mean Jacqueline is our new champion. Did either of our titles gain any prestige for that? I don't think they have. No, neither one gained any prestige, unfortunately, but new champion, completely unexpected. I'm absolutely gutted about that because I wanted her to be such a big star for us. She still will be as long as she comes back from that concussion, and hopefully when she does, she can come back and make a big impact. But plans have got to change now because we've got to figure out how to get the title off Jacqueline before she retires. 4th of October, so we've got to get it off her by the end of the month, because that's when she's going to be retiring. Well, that's not gone to plan. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment what you think we should do to get the title off Jacqueline. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and thank you very much for watching.